My husband forgot to end the call after saying he loved me. Then I heard him chuckle and my stepbrother's voice. She really thinks it's real. The meds will kick in soon. She won't even trust her own name. My heart stopped. They were scheming over my inheritance. I hung up, vanished, and started plotting. 3 weeks later, they stepped straight into their downfall. Can you imagine saying I love you to your husband, hanging up the phone, and then moments later, hearing him plotting your murder? Not just plotting to steal everything you own, but to have you declared insane, locked away, and eventually erased. My entire world shattered that day, like glass hitting concrete. The story unfolds. The silence after I love you, too, should have been comforting, right? Instead, it became the moment my entire life cracked open. I was still holding the phone to my ear, waiting for that familiar click of disconnection when I heard my husband's voice again. But this time, he wasn't talking to me. She bought it completely, Blake said, that satisfied tone in his voice that I'd stupidly mistaken for contentment in our marriage. My blood turned to ice water. The phone trembled in my hand as another voice joined the conversation, a voice that made my stomach drop through the floor. The insurance policy is solid, my stepbrother Cameron said, his words cutting through me like shards of glass. $2 million, plus the inheritance properties. Once we trigger the clause about her instability, it all transfers clean. I pressed the phone harder against my ear, my heart hammering so loud I was afraid they might hear it through the connection. The kitchen around me, our kitchen, with its cheerful yellow walls and the coffee mug Blake had bought me for our anniversary, suddenly felt like a stage set. Fake. Hollow. The medication switch was genius, Blake continued, and I could practically hear the smile in his voice. Dr. Whitmore thinks he's helping her depression, but those pills are going to make her paranoid, erratic. A few more weeks and we'll have all the documentation we need. My legs gave out. I slumped against the kitchen counter, the granite cold against my back as the phone slipped from my numb fingers. But I could still hear them talking, their voices floating up from the device that had become a window into my own destruction. What about Elena? Cameron asked. She's been asking questions about the trust fund. My sister won't be a problem, Blake replied dismissively. She's too busy with her own life to dig deep. Besides, once Violet's committed, Elena will be grateful we're handling everything. Committed. The word hit me like a physical blow. They weren't just planning to steal from me. They were planning to have me declared mentally incompetent and locked away. I stared at the pill bottle on the counter, the one Dr. Whitmore had prescribed just 3 weeks ago. The one Blake had been so supportive about, bringing me water every morning, making sure I took my medicine with breakfast. The pills that had been making me feel foggy, disconnected, like I was living my life through a thick pane of glass. How long had this been going on? How long had my husband been slowly poisoning me while kissing me goodnight? Full story on the channel. Link below. Click now and watch what happened next.